Happy Saturday, happy Saturday, happy Saturday. You are tuned in, tapped in, and turned on. I am Hyacinth Henderson, and I know that it has been a while. I am reporting live from home this morning. So I'm going to give you all a second, a minute, a couple minutes to come on in here, to get in here. I know you're like, the background is different. Hyacinth, maybe you even sound a little different. I gotta get all that set up because I will be doing my show from home for the next few weeks, maybe months. So we'll see what happens. But happy Saturday. Thank y'all so much for being here. You'll see that I changed the title of the show to Awaken Your Abundance. So I see people coming in here. As you come in here, affirm yourself, get in here. I don't think I have seen y'all on a Saturday morning since Goddess Day. And Goddess Day is August 7th, and now we're at August 21st. So it has been some time since I have been here with you all on a Saturday morning. However, I'm back in the biddy. So thank y'all so much for being here. If you have not done so already, affirm yourselves in the comments. If sharing is your thing, share, do whatever it is that you need to do. Grab your notebook, grab your pen, grab your paper, grab your family members, do whatever it is that you need to do, because today we're going to awaken your abundance. And so while I have you here, I'm going to get right into it because I'm going to be here for a short time and a good time, not a long time. I have changed the name of the show from The American Cream to Awaken Your Abundance. And as I was thinking about the name change, I said, well, Hyacinth, is this the final name change? And I'm going to be transparent with you all. No, it's not. So today it's going to be Awaken Your Abundance. At some point, it may be the Hyacinth Henderson Show. We don't know where we're going to go, but today on this moment, it's Awaken Your Abundance. Why did I make this name change shift? So I want to talk to you all about that. I made this shift because I have found in all of my 20 years of doing what it is that I do, that there are deeper issues or deeper reasons why people relate to their money the way that they do, why people believe in themselves or don't believe in themselves the way that they do. I've worked with hundreds of thousands of people, and in working with these people, I find that there is usually some issues or some areas that we need to uncover before we start talking about how to make your first $1 million. And so we're going to dive deep into that. So it's going to be Awaken Your Abundance is going to be a little bit of everything. It's going to be the Hyacinth that I kind of kept hidden for so long. But after my brief period of sitting down, right? And so let me go back. Let me be transparent with y'all. So August 7th is Goddess Day. I had a great time on Goddess Day, Goddess Month, Goddess Weekend, and I wanted to dance. If you don't know, those of you who know me know that I love to dance. Most of y'all don't know me outside of the internet. However, I'm going to dance even when everybody else is sitting around. So what I wanted to do on Goddess Day was dance. So, like the good lover that I have, he made sure that we went out dancing. And we went out dancing, and I danced, and I danced, and I danced. And then a few days later, I slept, and I slept, and I slept. So I'm gonna let y'all pick up the pieces of the puzzle and put them together. However, during that period of time when I was sleeping and taking Advil, which I hadn't taken in a very long period of time, I had a kumbaya moment. Maybe it was me and Jesus, maybe it was me and my ancestors, whoever it was. And the kumbaya moment went a little bit like this. Hyacinth, why are you getting on the internet playing with these people twice a week? You need to share what you know. I put you here to be a mentor of sorts and to share a lot of the information and the knowledge and the wisdom that you have, and stop giving them little bits and pieces and flakes. And I was like, all right, let me be obedient because, I want to live to 120. So that's where we are. Okay. So Goddess Day, I had a great time, and then I sat down after that. But I'm back. I thank God. I thank everybody. I thank my people who checked on me, the people who came looking for me when I was not in your regular showing up every single week, twice a week. When you noticed there was a difference and you came looking for me, I appreciate y'all. Special shout out to y'all. I have a certain select number of clients who came and checked for me. It was like, Hyacinth, where you at? I'm just checking on you. I want to let y'all know you never have to pay another fee in your life when it comes to me, okay? Because it wasn't many of y'all. It was only a handful, half a handful. Everybody else just wanted something. But anyway, Awaken Your Abundance. Let's talk about this. I am here. All right, so I believe that our relationship with abundance, starts from within. It has a lot to do with our current and our past experiences. And most times people only want to talk about the result, which is why am I spending all my money, instead of, not why am I spending all my money, why don't I have any money? Why are my dreams not coming true? Instead of peeling back the layers and talking about the experiences, the things that got them to this point. And so as I deal with clients, and 90% of my clients are financial planning clients. They come to me as financial planning clients. However, we develop a relationship and it lends off into other things. Like we be doing mantras and spells and everything else, right? So we go off into the deep end with some of them. However, it does not start there. It starts with, Hyacinth, I have a money problem. And so once I start realizing and I start peeling back the layers as to why you believe you have a money problem now, and I start connecting it with your childhood, I start connecting it with the way you saw your parents handling money, I start connecting it with all types of different things, then we start to get to the root of the problem. And a lot of times we start doing journaling work, we start doing some deeper work. And so I'm going to bring that to Awaken Your Abundance, right? It's the internet, it's the Hyacinth Henderson show, it's Awaken Your Abundance. We're going to talk about all types of different things. Today I want to talk to you and first start you off with reminding you that whatever you believe about yourself seals your destiny. I'm going to say that again. Whatever you believe about yourself seals your destiny. Not what somebody else believes, not what somebody else tells you, not any of that stuff. Whatever you believe about yourself seals your destiny. And so whatever you believe about yourself either brings success or brings failure. I'm slowing down because I want you to write this down. I want you to let it sink into your subconscious mind. It is a new day. I told y'all I made it through. I'm back on the air. So we're going to get real deep. We're not doing any superficial surface stuff anymore. We're getting real deep. All right. Whatever you believe about yourself either saves you or it sinks you. Whatever you believe about yourself either saves you or it sinks you. So the question then becomes, what do you believe about yourself? All right, so let's go back. Let's tie this into abundance and awakening your abundance. First of all, I want to be one of the people to tell you today, maybe the first person to tell you today, that abundance is always present. You don't have to do anything to attract abundance. You don't have to do anything to ask and beg and play and plead for abundance to show up on your doorstep. Abundance is always present. You have to figure out why you're not aligned with abundance or why you don't recognize abundance. So let's go back. Let's do a simple exercise. At some point today, I want everybody out here who's listening to go outside into society. Go outside, get you some fresh air. As soon as I am finished with this show, I'm going to continue my healing process and I'm going to the beach. Shout out to Baba Pear's son. He has been in my ear on my text every single day. Yes, Baba, I'm going to the beach for hours today. When you go outside, because we take it for granted, because we run from the sun and we run from the heats and the elements and we want to be inside in this central AC. But when you go outside, I want you to pay attention. I want you to observe how the birds are chirping. I want you to observe how the flowers are blooming. I want you to observe how the grass is growing. Maybe the lawn man just came 2 weeks ago and now the grass is growing again. And it's like, gosh, I just paid him $70 and now the grass is high again. It don't look like he's been here. I want you to observe all the abundance in action and the abundance that is just flowing and growing without you doing one simple thing. Now, whether you observe the abundance in action or not, it is still happening. If you choose not to observe the clouds moving and the sun rising and the waves crashing and the birds chirping, they're still rising and chirping and the waves are still crashing. Abundance is always present. So now when we understand, okay, Hyacinth, I think I'm picking up what you're putting down, but give me a little bit more. Give me a little bit more because I need you to help me connect this to my life. Because I understand what you're saying, Hyacinth. I understand what you're saying about nature is perfect and abundance is present, but right now my bank account is looking real scarce. And I need you to help me with that. All right, let's peel back some layers. So since we know that abundance is always present, we have to ask ourselves, what blocks our connection to abundance? That's a question. And either you can write it down now or you can catch the replay. I'm going to put this up on my YouTube, or you can come back and watch it on Facebook. So now that you know abundance is always present, what blocks you from abundance? Well, What blocks me from realizing that the birds are chirping? What blocks me from having gratitude for nature? Am I always in the house? Is my face always into my cell phone? Am I always complaining? Am I always around negative people? What is blocking my abundance? And so let's take it a step further. Shame, guilt, comparison, and scarcity thoughts. Shame because I remember that time where, dang, you know what? I couldn't pay the light bill. And we came home and the lights were off. And now I'm ashamed of that. And no matter what, I just have this haunting feeling over my head that, I let my children down because we came home and the lights were off. Is it that shame? Is it the shame that while you were pretending on social media like you had it all together, but you had $1 in your bank account? You were on social media posing and pretending with the latest fashion bag, but you got $2 in your bank account and you don't really know how your children are going to get school clothes. You don't know how they're going to get money for lunch. You don't know how things are going to go down. And so I'm ashamed of that, and I won't let that shame go. And so now I'm stuck in this cycle of telling myself that where I have been is where I'm always going to be. Right? And so these are examples. So maybe it's shame. So what we're doing is we're identifying the blocks to our abundance, because once we start identifying the blocks to our abundance, then we can spend some time massaging those blocks. We can spend some time saying, you know what? I may have that shame, or I may have that guilt because I did have a lot of money, but when I had a lot of money, I tricked it off. Or when I had a lot of money, I wasn't tithing, or I wasn't a good steward of it. And I'm feeling guilty about that. Or here's another thing. I feel guilty about having money and my mama don't have no money. And she's the one who raised me. She did the best that she could and I got more money than she did. So now I feel guilty, and so I give it all away. And so instead of me saving my money, instead of me investing my money, instead of me having progressive financial conversations with people, I am always hiding the fact that I do okay with some money. So is it shame? Is it guilt? Is it comparison? Is it comparing yourself to your neighbor who just got a new car, and you should really be thankful that you just got a new job because you got a $30,000 pay raise, but because you got caught up in comparison, now you're getting ready to go trick off your $30,000 pay raise because you want to buy a new car. Because they pulled up in a new car, now I want a new car. Now I'm comparing myself. It's a comparison because on social media, people on my timeline are posing up with their name brand this and name brand that, and they got the latest bag, and they got the spring collection and the fall collection and this and this, and I'm not able to do that. So I'm comparing myself. So now I'm going to spend $1,000 on the bag when I need to be putting $1,000 in a savings account, when I need to be putting $1,000 away to my child's education, when I need to be putting $1,000 away from my retirement. So we gotta peel back and say, what is blocking us from abundance? Because abundance is always present. Is it guilt? Is it shame? Is it comparison? Is it ignorance? Is it scarcity thoughts? Scarcity thoughts. Let me talk to you all about scarcity thoughts. There was a Harvard Business School study. And in this Harvard Business School study, these were students, Harvard Business School students. Now, if you go to Harvard Business School, there is an assumption or an idea or a thought that you are very intelligent. So these are Harvard Business School students. And the question was, would you be okay with a salary of $160,000 a year and your peers, and then it's set forever, and your peers had a salary of $140,000 a year forever? Or would you prefer a salary of $200,000 a year and your peers have a set salary of $220,000 per year? So you have the options 160 or 200. That's really what it's about. Now in option A, you will get more. Your salary is $20,000 higher annually than your peers. And in option B, you have a higher salary, but it's $20,000 less than your peers. Do you know that 83% of people in that study chose option A? They said, oh no, I don't want my peers making $20,000 more than me. I am going to choose $160,000. Even though I could choose $200,000 as my salary and my peers will take $220,000, forget the $40,000. I'm not focusing on the $40,000. I'm focusing on, I don't want them to have more than me. That is a scarcity mindset. That is a scarcity mindset. Option A says, I'm going to give you 160. I'm going to give them 140. Forever, it's set. Option B says, I'm going to give you 200. I'm going to give them 220. 83% of people said, nah, forget the 200. Let me get the 160 because I don't want nobody else. So you have to ask yourself, when is the scarcity mindset showing up in your life? When is the scarcity mindset showing up? Are you so concerned with what others have that it is keeping you away from your abundance? Are you so concerned about what somebody else has versus what you don't have? So we have to think about these things. So we know abundance is always present. Then we need to identify what are some of the blocks to our abundance. And then here's one of my favorites, and I do this with my one-on-one clients. How do we recognize blocks and what do we do about them? So I just spent about 15 minutes now sharing some information with you all, and I hope that it's resonating. If it's resonating, drop a 1 in the comments. If it's resonating with you today, drop a 1 in the comments. I know it's not the American cream. I know that. We'll find a space for the American cream. I say, gosh, I know that the people still need to learn about money. We're going to talk about money. I'm going to talk to you more about life insurance. I'm going to talk to you about all that good stuff. However, we need to do this work first, because I can talk to you about life insurance until we blue in the face. But if you don't believe that you can afford to pay yourself $500 a month or $1,000 a month into a life insurance policy for your future because you're too busy with blocks to your abundance, then I could talk about life insurance till I'm blue in the face and you're still not going to get it. So if this is resonating with you, if you are picking up what I'm putting down, then drop a 1 in the comments. Drop a 1 in the comments. I know it's different. I know I'm breaking the mold. I know the Henderson Financial Group is financial planning, right? But guess what? Abundance is financial planning. Mindset is financial planning. Spirituality is financial planning. There can be no financial planning without spirituality. There can be no financial planning without the mindset being correct. There cannot be any financial planning without the healing that we need to do as a collective people. So we're going to talk about this on the Awaken Your Abundance show. All right, so let's go back. Thank you all for the ones that are coming through in the comments. It's letting me know that you are here with me. I appreciate you for being here today. So how do we recognize the blocks and what to do about them? Now, this is a tricky one. This is a very, very tricky one. It's tricky because it may sound good while I'm sitting up here teaching this morning, but when you go on about your everyday life, 99% of the time, we are just flowing and not really paying attention to what we're doing. Thank you, Meg. You're right. It's the M and cream. Boom. It's still the American cream. Thank you. It is the M and cream. So Awaken Your Abundance focuses more on the M and cream. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff too, though. We're going to talk about more than mindset. It's going to be mindset. We're going to talk about alchemy, and we're going to talk about how visualization got my DNA cells back to doing what they needed to be doing quick, fast, and in a hurry, because I could not afford to be down for 3 weeks. So we're going to talk about all those methods and things like that. But I can't bring that out yet because you might be like, Hyacinth, what are you talking about? All right. So how do you recognize your blocks? How do you recognize your blocks? One of my favorite exercises that I have my people do, and I love this so much because it seems like such a subtle exercise, but it's so profound. And I'm going to share it with you all for the low price of FREE, right? And so you might want to take notes on this and then really take your time to do it. I made this name up. It's called Emotional Journey Journaling. Emotional Journey Journaling. And what that is, you can start with a piece of paper. Because a lot of times we just go on about our day and the alarm goes off and the kids tell us we need to be to school on time and we got to make the car line. That's an hour to 2 hours. Raise your hand if you're in the car line for 2 hours these days. Anyway, we just start going and going and going, and then we fix our coffee and we're at work, and then we're answering emails, and then we got to worry about dinner, and we have to worry about this person and this client and all these different things, and we're never really paying attention to how we're feeling throughout the day. And so what I have my people do is keep an emotional journey journal. And it starts with a simple piece of paper. You start with a simple piece of paper and you write down the first time of the day when you wake up. If it's 5 a.m., you write down 5 a.m. You write down the activity that you're doing and how you feel. So 5 a.m., stretching, at peace. You may write something down at 6 a.m. Maybe it's 11 a.m., office meeting, contemplative. 1 p.m., client reports, anxious. 3 p.m., whatever it is, you start writing down, you keep a log of the time, the activity, and how you're feeling. The reason why this is so important, and I've seen it change lives repeatedly, is because when you take the time to write down how you're feeling throughout the day, you can then identify what activities are throwing your energetic vibration off. What activities are you doing? And you always upset every time you're doing this activity. So now you're upset every time you have to go to this meeting. And then after you go to the meeting, you have to pick up your kids because the meeting is always at 2 o'clock and the kids get out of school at 3 o'clock. And so then after that, you're upset from the meeting, and then you pick up the kids, and then you're not sitting down talking with them about anything because you're already upset. You're not listening to how their day went or how anything else went. And you just keep flowing into that angry mode. And here's something that I want to share with you all. When you're angry, you cannot focus on abundance. When you're angry, it's almost like, I don't know if you've heard the saying, when your fist is closed, you can't catch any blessings. So when you're angry, when you're mad, when you're sad, all these lower level vibrations, emotions, and I'm not saying that they're not valid. I'm just telling you what they are. They are lower level emotions. When you are experiencing that, you cannot be connected to abundance because you are so focused on the lower level frequency. So after I partied like it was 1999 for my 40th birthday, and I had to sit down, right? I had to keep telling myself, come up out of that frequency. Come up out of that sickness frequency. Like, this is me talking to me. Hyacinth, come up out of that sickness frequency. Hyacinth, come up out of that sickness frequency. Because I know that the longer that I stayed in that sickness frequency, the chances of me coming out of that frequency were going to be longer. It was going to be harder because it's almost like quicksand. When you're in a lower level emotional state and you start dooming and glooming and stuff like that, then you start sinking, and it takes more effort for you to climb up out of that frequency. So I had to tell myself, girl, you got to come up out of this frequency. You got too many people counting on you. What are you doing, baby? What you doing? So when you do the emotional journaling and you look throughout the day and you're like, oh, okay. Well, I noticed the pattern here because I've been doing this emotional journaling for the past 7 days, and I can look back and I can see like clockwork every day at 2 o'clock, I'm pissed off. Like clockwork every day at 6 o'clock, I'm exhausted. And so what you'll do is you'll start to be more intentional about your behaviors. You'll say, well, maybe, you know what, I know this activity needs to get done. I need to do these clients' notes. However, if I do my client notes in the evening time after my 2 p.m. meeting, I'm not going to do the best that I can do for my clients. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to start doing my client notes at 7 a.m. because I want to give my best foot forward for my clients. So when you do the emotional journaling, I don't want you to believe that it is a magic pill. And as soon as you do the emotional journaling, that you're going to be able to look at it on day one and be like, oh, okay, I identify some stuff. You need at least 7 days. You need at least 7 days to be able to look and say, okay. And so when you look at that, then you can start restructuring your day. It's almost like you may have heard the saying, you can have breakfast food anytime, right? You don't have to have breakfast only in the morning. I know breakfast is breaking the fast where you slept at night, right? But you can eat eggs anytime. So when you understand your emotions and how different activities trigger you, then you can start to say, well, I can do things differently. I'm going to do this activity at this time of day because when I do this activity, it empowers me and it helps me go forward. Oh, you know what? Since I have this 2 o'clock meeting, and then during this 2 o'clock meeting, I generally don't really feel good about, when I have the meeting. At 1 o'clock, I'm going to go into meditation. At 1:30, I'm going to call my bae. At 1:30, I'm going to do journaling. At 1:30, I'm going to take my break and I'm going to listen to a mantra, an audio. I'm going to do something. So you get to start to reprogram your day so that you can stay connected to abundance, because abundance is always present. The only difference from people who are wealthy and those who are not is, let's go back to what I shared with you in the beginning. Whatever you believe about yourself seals your destiny. Right? So when you have to say, well, you know what, I got to keep my beliefs strong, then you understand the importance of you being in control of your emotions. You being in control and saying, I know, child, we've been in this habit for 20 years of you calling me every day at 1:30, but you always gossiping, and you know what? I can't talk to you at 1:30 no more with this gossiping, because I know at 2 o'clock I'm going into this meeting and it's already going to take enough out of me. So I can't talk to you at 1:30 no more. I'm sorry, I've been doing it for 15 years, but I can't do it anymore. So when you do these exercises, then you'll start to say, wait a minute, now I'm taking control of my abundance, because I want the same opportunities that other people have. I don't want to be poor all my life. I don't want to tell my children, this is just the way it is. We grew up in apartments. My mama grew up in apartments, and you're going to grow up in I don't want to do that anymore. And so we have to be able to tell ourselves a new story. We have to be able to identify what are our blocks to abundance. And then we have to be able to have a new belief. The question is, what do you believe about yourself? Do you believe that abundance is your birthright? Do you believe that abundance is your birthright? Do you believe that you were put on this planet to be abundant? You were put on this planet to be abundant and have lots of resources and have lots of love and happiness and money. You know why? Because when you have lots of love and happiness and money, then you set a beautiful example for other people. And when you set a beautiful example for other people, then they know that it's possible for them. And when they know that it's possible for them, then they say, you know what, let me get up and let me do the work. So there's nobody here on planet Earth who was put here to be poor. There's nobody here on planet Earth who was put here to be in suffering. There's nobody here on planet Earth who was put here to be in poverty and to be broken down and sick. That may be your current experience now. However, you have a choice to come up out of that frequency. You have a choice to say, I'm going to choose a new frequency. I get to choose either saving myself or sinking myself, and I'm going to save myself. Because I'll tell you what, ain't nobody going to save you but you. All right, let me go through the comments. It's almost 10 o'clock. I feel like I was getting like on a roll there, but I want to be mindful of the time. All right, let's see. Thank y'all so much for being here. I got Miss Brenda Brown here. My girl Diana George is here. June is here. She says, I achieved the seemingly impossible. Miss Redhead is here. Tangela Sweeting is here. Lily Mae Vickers, DeLawrence Moore, Curtis Kegler, Meg Knight, Miss Annie Edwards. Thank you so much again for that salad. It was delicious and right on time. Zakia is here. Miss Brenda Brown is here. Aaron Harris is here. Thank y'all so much for being here. Tangela Sweeting is here. Miss Vickers, and I think I named everybody. So what do I want you all to do today? What do I want you to do? I want you to make a conscious decision. I want you to ask yourself, what do you believe in? Because whatever you believe in seals your destiny. It doesn't matter what your daddy believe in, what your mama believe in, what your friends believe in. It doesn't matter what your boss believe in. Whatever you believe in seals your destiny. And whatever you believe about yourself either brings success or it brings failure. Whatever you believe either saves you or it sinks you. And so when we honor that and when we ponder these questions and these statements that I'm sharing with you, then the question that you have to ask yourself is, what do you believe about yourself? So if you could program your mind to have a new belief about yourself, how much could you accomplish in the next 6 months? How much could you accomplish in the next 12 months? If you could program yourself to have a new belief about yourself, about your future, about your lineage, about your wealth, about your destiny, how much more abundance could you have in the next 6 months? Would you say, Hyacinth and Mr. Henderson, I hear y'all talking, but I'm not ready to stop spending all my money? No, you would say, you know what? I believe that I'm wealthy. I believe that I'm going to do what I need to do so that I can put a plan in place, because we know that y'all help us bring the future into the present. But it starts with your belief. It starts with the stories that you're telling yourself. It starts with understanding that abundance is always present. It starts with understanding that there are blocks to abundance, but it is your job and nobody else's job to go through with a fine-tooth comb. And a good way to do that is to do an emotional journey for at least 7 days. Clock your emotions throughout the day. And then after you clock your emotions throughout the day, there is some stuff you're going to have to stop those activities. There's some stuff you're going to have to rearrange today. You may have to ask for some help. You may have to pull this off of your schedule. You may have to say, I may have to hire help. I may have to get a new job. I may have to get a side hustle. There are some things that you're going to have to change if you want to step into your abundance. Abundance is always present. It's waiting on you to align. Abundance is not waiting on you to attract it. No. That's not how this works. Abundance is waiting on you to align with it. How do you align with it? You align with it by peeling back layers. All right, so I believe that our relationship with abundance has a lot to do with our current and past previous experiences. Ooh, that was loud. I believe that our relationship with abundance has a lot to do with our current and past experiences. And so what we're going to do on Awaken Your Abundance each and every Saturday morning is we're going to explore those experiences. We're going to explore relationships. We're going to talk about different tools, different modalities. We're just going to talk about stuff to help us get to where we got to get, because playtime is over, right? I've been playing on these people in there for a good time and no more. All right. So until then, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Mr. Henderson and James T will be on at 10:15 for the Understanding Money Part 2 show. Until then, y'all stay safe and stay sane. Peace.